The harsh conditions on the Eastern Front profoundly impacted German military operations, ultimately culminating in their inability to sustain prolonged warfare. The Soviet forces adeptly capitalized on these adversities, effectively turning the tide of battle in their favor. Following the initial success of the German blitzkrieg tactics in Western Europe, there was a strategic pivot towards the east, necessitated by setbacks encountered in Britain. This decisive shift laid the groundwork for the catastrophic conflict that ensued in the Soviet Union. Adolf Hitler's ideological convictions played a pivotal role in fueling the Nazi campaign against the Soviet Union, conceptualizing it as a confrontation against communism and purported Jewish influence. This underlying ideology profoundly influenced military strategies and objectives during the invasion. The fortifications were meticulously designed to facilitate effective surveillance over training fields, thereby enhancing the military's capacity to monitor troop movements and coordinate artillery operations seamlessly. This aspect became increasingly crucial in the context of the evolving battlefield. Operation Barbarossa heralded the commencement of a massive invasion plan orchestrated by Hitler, involving the deployment of over 3 million soldiers alongside extensive military resources aimed at securing swift victories over the Soviet Union, thus marking a significant escalation in the conflict. German forces executed rapid aerial assaults intended to incapacitate Soviet air power, achieving significant destruction within the initial days of the invasion. This display underscored their overwhelming military efficiency and strategic advantage at the outset. The Stalin Line, comprising a formidable series of fortifications that extended over 1,600 kilometers, illustrated the extensive military planning by the Soviet Union to safeguard critical territories. This strategic initiative proved crucial in reinforcing their defense strategy. As the German army pressed forward, they encountered substantial challenges in advancing due to the fortified defenses surrounding Kiev. This impediment significantly slowed their progress and ultimately affected their operational plans, serving as a pivotal turning point in the campaign. As the war progressed, the dire lack of vital resources, particularly oil, emerged as a major concern for the German forces. This scarcity ultimately hampered their ability to sustain effective military operations, prompting essential strategic adjustments. The intense German bombardment, coupled with the subsequent capture of Sevastopol, starkly highlighted the dwindling power of Soviet forces in the region. This significant loss escalated pressures on the critically important oil fields located in the Caucasus. The aftermath of the Battle of Stalingrad revealed the staggering losses incurred by German forces, with over 250,000 soldiers killed and 91,000 captured. This catastrophic defeat instilled a profound sense of desperation and urgency among German military leadership. Hitler's strategic vision necessitated a dramatic increase in production capabilities to support the planned offensive at Kursk, epitomizing a shift toward a total war approach. This strategic pivot included a significant enhancement in resources allocated for tank production. In preparation for the impending battle, the German forces mobilized an astonishing number of troops and advanced weaponry, prominently featuring the new Panther and Tiger tanks. This concentration of military power was strategically intended to overwhelm Russian defenses. Despite their initial advances, German forces encountered fierce resistance from the well-prepared Soviet defenses, which included extensive fortifications constructed specifically to counteract their offensive maneuvers. The challenges presented by these fortified positions proved to be significant. The conflict ultimately culminated in one of the largest tank engagements in military history, with Soviet forces significantly outnumbering their German counterparts in both tanks and personnel. This overwhelming numerical superiority substantially influenced the outcome of the battle. The losses sustained by the Soviet Union were severe, with nearly 200 tanks destroyed in a single day, contrasted against only 5 losses for the Germans. This stark comparison underscores the intense nature of the conflict and the high stakes involved. In light of the Red Army's continued expansion, which saw the introduction of over 1 million soldiers and 3,500 tanks into the fray, Hitler was compelled to reassess his strategies. This adjustment highlighted the increasing pressure mounting on German forces. By July 1943, the arrival of American and British forces in Sicily posed a new strategic dilemma for Hitler, ultimately compelling him to cancel Operation Citadel. This development illustrated the expanding array of challenges encountered by the Axis powers. The Eastern Wall was bolstered with sophisticated defenses, including Dragon's Teeth and water obstacles, specifically designed to impede Soviet advancement. However, the effectiveness of these measures was severely compromised in the absence of adequate personnel. By January 1945, the Soviet offensive rapidly breached the Eastern Wall, demonstrating the inadequate preparedness of German defenses. This unforeseen turn of events was largely attributable to the lack of trained soldiers, resulting in swift and decisive defeats. Although the German forces displayed initial resistance at the Silo Heights, the overwhelming superiority of Soviet artillery and troop numbers ultimately precipitated their withdrawal. This marked a significant turning point in the broader context of the war.